CheckMATE! Universal's getting ready to blow away the competition with their brand new park gate, Epic Universe. But what stories will be told inside each immersive land, and what themed hotel rooms will you be able to stay in during your 2025 visits and beyond? We've got all the Epic Universe details for you today here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. In 2025, Universal is going to be opening their third park gate in Orlando, Florida, and calling it Epic Universe. But you know all that. And if you didn't, well, surprise. Exciting stuff, huh? Now, the goal of today's video is to go over everything else we know about this park so far. I'm talking new lands, new rides, new restaurants, even new details that Universal recently subtly dropped that you might have missed during your desperate pursuit of Epic Universe knowledge. But that's why we're here to fill in the gaps. All right, let's take it from the top, people. One of the ways that Epic Universe is going to be completely different from Universal Orlando's two existing theme parks is that there's an overarching story connecting each of the lands. See that clock tower? This is the Kronos hovering over the emerald entrance of the park. This massive device, according to Universal lore, helps to generate power that creates portals into new realms, some of which we've never been able to step foot inside of before. But our journey depends on the world between worlds, over in Celestial Park. I'm not gonna lie, if Universal told me that the entirety of Epic Universe was gonna be focused around this celestial theme decorating the park's central hub, I'd still probably be excited over it because this place looks stunning already. The concept of this area is heavily influenced by Greek mythology, where Apollo rules the park by day, but once the sun sets, the goddess Luna takes over and is in charge of the nighttime luminescence. Okay, Percy Jackson vibes much? Now, inside Celestial Park, you're gonna find lush living gardens, shimmering waters, impressive architecture, and even two new rides up front and center. The first roller coaster that you're going to come across inside this park is Stardust Racers, a dual launch racing coaster that'll take you soaring through the skies to see who's the fastest of them all, which kind of reminds me of the old Dueling Dragons coaster from Islands of Adventure before Hagrid's motorbike adventure took its place. During Stardust Racers, two vehicles will launch simultaneously and race each other, reaching speeds up to 62 miles per hour on a track that reaches 133 feet. In total, there's 5,000 feet of track for you to race along, and while this coaster is probably going to be a nice shot of adrenaline no matter when you ride it, I think it's going to be even better at night since all the ride vehicles resemble comets and will be fully illuminated once the sun goes down. Riders will have to be at least 48 inches tall to get on this one. But don't worry, kiddos, Celestial Park's second ride, Constellation Carousel, is for everybody and allows you to ride the constellations as you take a spin on a creature like a celestial lion, a dragon, or a peacock. You'll go forward, backward, and even make 360-degree spins. Y'all, this might be the first time I'm legit excited to ride a carousel. Just really sounds unique. Aside from the rides, there'll be side attractions you can check out while you're in this area too, like Astronomica, which is an interactive wet play area that'll double as a giant compass, leading you into the other immersive lands in Epic Universe, and fountain shows, where dancing crystal blue fountains will jet stream to life all around you, capable of reaching up to 135 feet into the air, so taller than the coaster. Throughout the day and night, you can catch several fountain shows that perform to music and interactive lighting. Kind of feels like Celestial Park's Nintendo Superstar store is jumping the gun by being in this area of the park instead of in the Super Nintendo World section, but we'll talk about that more later on. The Nintendo Superstar store seems to fit into the Celestial area nicely while being a shop that features toys, clothing, and various other souvenirs based on characters from Super Nintendo World and more. And let's not forget about the restaurants here. Atlantic will present full-service surf and turf dining inside a Victorian-style aquarium. But if you're looking for an afternoon beverage, you're more than welcome to just grab a cocktail from the additional Aquaria bar as well. Meanwhile, the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant will present flavors of Asia with authentic Chinese, Japanese, and Thai meals in full-service fashion inside a dining room where bright neon dragons chase each other across the walls. And yeah, cocktails can be snatched up here too, over at the Tiger Bar. For quicker options, you can also choose from the Oak and Star Tavern, which will serve barbecue entrees, or Pizza Moon, which will serve, well, probably don't need to spell that one out for you. And if you need to satisfy your sweet tooth after enjoying a savory smack roll or two, the Moon Chip Chocolates and Celestial Sweets shops got you covered. But you can put the pens and pencils down, folks. No need to take notes over all of this because we have a free, fully fleshed out Epic Universe guide ready to send your way that already took all the notes for you. And that means this guide covers all the rides and restaurants, the shops, the shows, and more that you can plan ahead for before your Epic Universe visit. Go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/epic, and we'll send it straight to your email. All right, see you later, Celestial Park. It's time for us to step inside our first portal and into a brand new realm. Universal Orlando's 2 parks have already explored the wizarding world of Harry Potter thoroughly, giving us the chance to step inside both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, 2 locations that come straight from the Harry Potter books and movies. But Epic Universe is expanding those magical horizons with a 3rd wizarding world location, the Ministry of Magic. The Ministry of Magic will blend the 1920s wizarding world of Paris from the Fantastic Beasts movies with the British Ministry of Magic from the original Harry Potter series. Now that's fine with us. As long as we can see a Niffler in real life, we're going to be happy muggles. Now there'll only be 1 ride in this area of the park, but the way Universal's talking about it so far, it might be the mic drop of Wizarding World rides. Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry will transport you by Metroflu from Wizarding Paris to the British Ministry of Magic for the trial of Dolores Umbridge. Yep, we're finally getting a ride around the worst Harry Potter antagonist, IMHO. From here, you'll visit a full-size grand atrium of the Ministry and venture through the departments before boarding magical omnidirectional lifts to watch the trial. But then, Umbridge is gonna try to escape. That means it's up to you, Harry, Ron, Hermione, and a house elf named Higgledy, go Higgledy, to chase down Umbridge, all while being propelled up, down, forward, backward, and sideways through the Ministry to try and stop her in her tracks. Oh, and you'll need to dodge Death Eaters and other monstrous creatures while you're in pursuit. Normal wizard stuff. Now, we don't know a whole lot about the exact ride system yet, but just based on the concept art so far and the overall ride descriptions we've already received, it's giving Rise of the Resistance vibes to me, but I'll just have to go ride it myself next year to see if that comparison holds up. For the Battle of the Ministry, guests must be at least 40 inches tall to ride. Despite there being only 1 ride in this area of the park, there's still a whole lot more to see and do inside the Ministry of Magic. In fact, you can go see a full-on Fantastic Beasts show over at Luxurc Arcanus. This is going to feature live performers, aerialists, impressive puppetry, and over-the-top special effects, while following Ringmaster Skender, who has just stolen Newt Scavender's suitcase full of Fantastic Beasts in a desperate attempt to try and bring the failing Luxurc back to its former glory. Sounds safe, a suitcase full of wild Fantastic Beasts? What's the worst that can happen? Much like Universal's other wizarding realms, though, the Ministry of Magic will keep you completely immersed inside Wizarding Paris with more interactive spell casting opportunities, Fantastic Beast interactions, enchanted objects in storefront windows, and other visitors, officials, and residents straight from the Wizarding world for you to mix and mingle with. And if you want to take home a little trinket from your time in Wizarding Paris, swing by Cosme Acajor Baguettes Magiques for a selection of handcrafted wands, Les Galeries Mirifiques for all your wizarding gear needs, K. Ramel, the city's local confectionery shop, and Tour and Floo for some Ministry of Magic inspired souvenirs. Now, how about a bite to eat when you're in the area, right? Café L'Air de la Sirène will be a quick service restaurant that Universal describes as a charming cafe where guests can delight in French sandwiches, plats du jour, and desserts. This spot will offer both indoor and outdoor dining with a menu of French baked goods and that classic butterbeer, as well as a variety of other non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks. Now, my guess is that Wizarding Paris also does not know what Diet Coke is. Soda Goblin AJ has her doubts. Now, you can also pick up butterbeer, just butterbeer, from the outdoor Beer cart. That's how you say butterbeer in French. And if you're someone who loves going over to Diagon Alley simply to track down the area's skeevy underbelly that is Nocturne Alley, then you might be more inclined to visit Le Goblet Noir, where international dark witches and wizards gather to escape the prying eyes of the Paris Ministry and have a hearty meal over hushed conversations. This spot will offer starters like soups and salads and a variety of entrees and desserts. And last but not least, for another beverage stop during your time in Paris, check out Bar Moonshine, where American witches and wizards can enjoy a taste of home and find exclusive beers, wines, and cocktails served amid U.S. Quidditch team pennants and other items of wizarding Americana. Interesting. Wahoo! Let's go to Super Nintendo World. Super Nintendo World isn't unique to Epic Universe, since you can also find this video game-centric land over in Universal Hollywood and Universal Studios Japan. But we're excited to see it warp pipe over to the Orlando area too, because that gives us another chance to ride Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. This ride combines practical sets and decorations along with virtual reality, using special glasses to put you right in the driver's seat of the popular Mario Kart series. You're going to enter through Bowser's Castle and then hop into your cart to join Team Mario. Heads up, Mario, I am pretty prone to driving myself off the Mario Kart tracks when I'm playing the game back home. Just thought you should know. Now, just like in the Mario Kart games, you'll be collecting coins and items, driving through obstacles, and tossing items at Team Bowser to try and throw them off course. Come on, red shells. Riders will need to be at least 40 inches tall to ride this one. Now, while Yoshi's Adventure isn't featured in Universal Studios Hollywood, we have seen it over in Universal Studios Japan, and now it's coming to Orlando too. This slow-moving attraction gives you the chance to join the Yoshis on a search for glowing eggs throughout Mushroom Kingdom, but guests will still need to be at least 34 inches tall to ride. Oh look, we got one more ride squeezed into the Nintendo Land area to check out, and this one might be the one I'm most excited for. Minecart Madness has you careening down roller coaster tracks inside a minecart so that you can help Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong protect the golden banana. Sounds less like a job for me and more like a job for the minions, but I guess they're gonna stay put in Universal Studios Florida for now. Minecart Madness will feature back-to-back jaw-dropping maneuvers like getting shot out of a barrel and the illusion of jumping over sections of missing or broken track. Guests must be at least 36 inches tall for this one. When you're done kart racing, Yoshi riding, and barrel blasting, don't forget to say howdy to Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Toad since they'll be stationed around the land, meeting and greeting guests throughout the day. Although Celestial Park already has a Super Nintendo themed shop for you to browse around, Super Nintendo World has gift stores too, of course, like 1UP Factory and Mario Motors, which will carry even more souvenirs inspired by iconic Super Mario characters and adventures. And inside these shops, you'll be able to purchase interactive power-up bands. Now, think of these accessories kind of like a mashup between Disney's Magic Bands and Universal's interactive wands. Throughout Super Nintendo World, there are immersive challenges that you can participate in that'll test your quickness, skill, and timing. If you opt to purchase a power-up band, you can collect a digital key every time you win a key challenge. Power-up bands also let you collect digital coins and stamps, and track your scores, and check to see how you stack up against other Nintendo competitors. If you gather enough keys, you may be able to unlock an exclusive showdown against Bowser Jr. Before you take on a battle like that, though, you're going to need to build up your strength, so get some of the food in your system to fuel ya. Much like the other versions of Super Nintendo World around the world, the main culinary draw in this area will be the Toadstool Cafe, which allows diners to enjoy a variety of tasty dishes inspired by the world of Super Mario and its characters. You've got Mario and Luigi burgers, Super Mushroom Soup, Piranha Plant Caprese, Fire Flower Spaghetti and Meatballs, and more. It is totally giving Bria and me Minion Cafe flashbacks, but we are still going to go and eat it for you. Now, if you'd rather snack inside Super Nintendo Land instead of having a full-on meal here, Yoshi's Snack Island and Turbo Boost Treats will each offer a selection of quick bites and beverages. Universal's noted that a selection of tropical menus and merchandise offerings will also be available in the Donkey Kong Country section of this world, too. Finally, we're getting a How to Train Your Dragon Land, y'all, and I am hyped. And you best believe I'll be binge watching all these movies again before the park opens up. So big question on everyone's mind. Will you be able to ride on the back of a dragon? Yes, kind of, if you can suspend your disbelief for just a little bit. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's go ahead and check out the big coaster in this area of the park, Hiccup's Wing Gliders. This is going to be a family thrill coaster where you'll join Hiccup to test out his latest glider contraption. Y'all see, Hiccup has created a way for riders to simulate what it's like to fly on a dragon, so this here winged flying machine is designed to launch aspiring dragon racers to send them swooping and soaring through the air. But here's where the drama kicks in. Toothless isn't super thrilled with this new invention, so it seems like he's ready to cause some mischief. Hiccup's Wing Gliders reaches speeds of up to 45 miles an hour, taking visitors around the perimeter of the land and across the lagoon. And be on the lookout, because you're more than likely going to encounter both Toothless and Hiccup during your journey. The height requirement for this is 40 inches. However, if you're looking for a ride with no height requirement that the whole family can enjoy, then be sure to check out Fire Drill. I am super excited for this. The Viking twins, Rough Nut and Tough Nut, are in charge of this one, so get ready to board a boat and take a trek down Burke's Fire School, where the brother and sister duo have designed an interactive boat battle that'll put you in the role of a villager preparing to protect the town against fire-breathing dragons. On this ride, one side of the boat is competing with the other, making for a boat ride meets game experience. Good luck, and may the best water blaster win. Not so thrilled about the dripping wet prospect here? You can always have your smaller Vikings visit the Viking training camp instead, which is an adventure play area featuring an agility course, a toothless teeter-totter, baby Grunkle dragon climbers, towers to climb and explore, Viking drums and chimes to play, an interactive sheep launcher game, who doesn't need that, slides, and more. All the while, kiddos and adults alike can learn about all the various classes of dragons featured inside the Isle of Berk. The most adrenaline-inducing ride in this new land, though, more than likely, is going to be Dragon Racer's Rally. Here, you're going to be training to be a champion dragon racer by practicing aerobatic maneuvers and barrel rolls on a Viking-made dragon riding trainer. This looks like one of those really scary rides that you find in like the traveling carnivals to me. So you're going to be spinning upside down and reaching heights of up to 67 feet in the air. But don't let those speeds and heights completely scare you. You get to be in control of how wild or mild your ride is. You are the dragon trainer here after all, so the intensity of this one rests solely on your wings. To ride Dragon Racer's Rally, you must be at least 48 inches tall. Remember how I mentioned that you might be able to catch a passing glance of Hiccup and Toothless while riding Hiccup's wing gliders? Well, you can actually fully meet this dynamic pair over in the Haddock Paddock if you want to interact with them close up and in person. Universal also shared that you might encounter more characters throughout the land, including other Vikings and dragons like Astrid with Stormfly, and you might even catch dragons flying high overhead. This is very cool and a very cool teaser because we've actually seen video of those dragons and it looks unbelievable. I cannot wait to find out if they're going to do that, how they're going to do that, if that's going to continue after the park opens, because wow. Now, do you know what I think I'm even more excited for, though? The Untrainable Dragon stage show. The Untrainable Dragon is already part of Universal Beijing Resort, which is why I know it's going to be nothing short of breathtaking. And the show's going to star your favorite How to Train Your Dragon characters as they work together to solve the mystery of the Untrainable Dragon. Be prepared because dragons will be flying over you during this show and it's going to give you full body chills. Want to take home some souvenirs from your trip to the Viking village? Merchandise will be for sale at shops like Viking Traders, How to Treat Your Dragon, Hiccup's Workshop, and Toothless's Treasures. Now here's another question you might be asking yourself. What do Vikings eat on the Isle of Berk? Well, let's keep the answers rolling here by stepping inside Mead Hall, which will be a quick service restaurant where guests can feast like a Viking and enjoy a savory menu featuring a variety of meats and fish, sandwiches, and more, along with a collection of meads and ciders. Yep, this is the place for you Ren Fair fans. Now, before or after your water blast or battle on board the fire drill attraction, you can dine at Spitfire Grill, which will overlook the ride while also serving up flame-seared meals in quick service fashion. Finally, we've got Hooligans Grog and Gruel, a racing-themed food stand located near the Viking training camp. Okay, confession here from me. I'm terrified to go to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Florida, yet I am also extremely intrigued by all the theming and storytelling that takes place. So I feel like Epic Universe's fifth and final land, Dark Universe, will finally allow me to experience Universal's monstrous side minus the constant jump scares and loud noises, and I'm very excited about that. Though for those who'll be going to this section of the park with me, I must warn you, I'll probably still be a little nervous about waiting in line for Dark Universe's signature attraction, Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, because it sounds really, really cool, but also a little spooky. Located in the facade of Frankenstein Manor, this ride will be based around the work of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein as she continues the research and experimentations passed down from her ancestors. While demonstrating one of her experiments, things are gonna go a little haywire. How haywire? Well, let's just say Dracula himself is gonna be leading an army of fed-up monsters, which will include the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and more. So pretty haywire. Guests are gonna have to be at least 48 inches tall for this one. The second and final ride inside the Dark Universe area is Curse of the Werewolf, a spinning family coaster themed around the Wolfman. Because I guess he didn't feel like he was getting enough stage time in the Monsters Unchained attraction, so he needed his own thing. I'll allow it. Guests will enter the Guild of Mystics and be, according to Universal, greeted by Malava, the Guild's all-knowing seer and leader, who will warn you that you bear the mark of the beast. How'd that get there? And then you'll board a wagon and go into the forest, racing to escape the werewolves before you become one. The coaster's giving me Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind vibes mixed with the creepy, unnerving theming inside Revenge of the Mummy over at Universal Studios Florida. So I expect it to be thrilling, but not nearly as thrilling as Universal's other major coasters, like Velocicoaster and the Incredible Hulk. You must be at least 40 inches tall to ride this one. But let's up the spook factor one step further, shall we? You can actually meet classic Universal monsters over in Dark Universe, including Dr. Victoria Frankenstein's monster and the alluring Bride of Frankenstein, Victoria Frankenstein's servant Igor, and the Invisible Man. I know, that sounds like a cop-out, but I'm fairly certain they mean you'll be able to meet the Invisible Man when he's all wrapped up in his bandages, though it's pretty funny to think about waiting in line to take a picture next to air. Now, if you have a little monster of your own, or perhaps you'd like to channel your own inner monster, Dark Universe will also feature the new monster makeup experience, where, according to Universal lore, Dr. Pretorius's infamous old lab has been transformed into a parlor where skilled artisans use their talents to transform guests into a likeness of their favorite Universal monsters. And don't forget to stock up on souvenirs to calm or release your inner monster over at Pretorius's Scientific Oddities. Whatever you do, don't accept the food offerings of a wandering monster, unless it's steak. Then by all means go ahead and wander into the Das Steakhouse quick service, an old inn and dining hall built over the ruins of ancient catacombs and run by vampire familiars who might just size up unsuspecting patrons to be part of the vampire's feast. The name is not only a play on the Eastern European setting of vampire lore, but a literal play on words. Get it? Steak instead of steak? Yes, we love a good pun. Now on this menu, you'll find a variety of burgers, kebabs, sandwiches, and more. In addition to Das Steakhouse, the Burning Blade Tavern is another quick service restaurant that pays homage to the iconic windmill from Universal's 1931 classic Frankenstein. The Burning Blade Tavern will allow diners to eat in an old mill, which Darkmoor Village's monster hunters have transformed into their hangout. Instead of the monsters being portrayed as heroes, as they are displayed in Das Steakhouse, this restaurant focuses on hunters who protect regular folk from these legendary beasts. Surrounded by trophy heads of conquered monsters, diners will be able to enjoy a menu of burgers, pretzels, wings, bratwurst, and specialty beverages while they listen to tales of victory from the hunters themselves. Additionally, Universal teased that this tavern will erupt into flames several times an hour. I'm sorry, what now? You heard me. Universal will be using 2 types of fuel to create different pyrotechnics during the day and evening so that those bursting flames will be epic to witness no matter what time of the day you'll swing by for a visit. A little bit nervous about how that's going to go down in the middle of the heat of the summer, but we will find out. And finally, we've got DeLacy's Cottage, located near Frankenstein Manor, where guests can find sweets and snacks, including ice cream, cinnamon bread, twisted taters, and more. And no, we are not done yet. Not yet. Beyond the park itself, Universal's also getting ready to open up 3 new hotels. Now, as soon as you step through the doors of the premier level getaway Universal Helios Grand Hotel, it's going to transport you to a fantastical world within the Palace of Helios, the Greek god of the sun. You're going to find its cascading walls and ceilings lined with details of celestial patterns, dazzling constellations, and elegant Mediterranean design elements. The lobby is also going to feature magnificent floor-to-ceiling windows and offer breathtaking views of Celestial Park. Now, that detail is super important because Helios will also boast its very own entrance, leading you directly into Epic Universe right inside Celestial Park. Sorry, had to get that out of the way first because it's literally so cool. But along with that specialty park entrance, hotel guests will have a lot of other cool amenities at their disposal, like Bar Helios, a rooftop bar that'll specialize in Mediterranean fare, including salads, lamb and chicken gyros, tapas, antipasti, and cocktails. Flora Taverna is a full-service restaurant featuring a hybrid of Greek and Italian style of cooking and dining, including fish, seafood, lamb, roasted chicken, and steaks. Lotus Lagoon is a casual poolside bar and restaurant. Aurora Market is a grab-and-go market featuring freshly roasted coffee, paninis, wraps, and salads. And bus transportation to Universal Studios Florida, Universal Islands of Adventure, Universal Volcano Bay, and Universal City Walk. Yep, that's right. This hotel is going to be far enough away from the other 2 parks that you're going to have to bus. You can't just walk there like you can now. And there's going to be a massive swimming pool here. The oasis of the zero entry pool will become the ultimate spot for rest and relaxation, complete with underwater speakers, poolside cabanas available for rent, a hot tub, poolside movies, recreational activities, and more. But what about the rooms here? What are they going to be like? The serene guest rooms and spacious suites will offer up, as Universal describes, bright, inviting, and warm spaces, evoking the tranquility of a blissful garden, with many of the rooms offering fantastic views of Epic Universe. But the rooms I'm most looking forward to seeing are the How to Train Your Dragon Kids Suites, where little ones can take to the skies and rest among dragons in a colorful room inspired by the Viking village of Berk. Now, here's the big downside we found out about Helios just recently. And this is a giant downside. Despite being a premier level hotel, a stay at Helios Grand will not currently include complimentary Universal Express passes. which you do receive when you stay at other Universal Premier level hotels like Loews Portofino Bay, Loews Royal Pacific, and the Hard Rock Hotel. That being said, Universal has assured guests that they'll still be able to take advantage of other hotel-exclusive theme park benefits, like early park admission, where you can enjoy select attractions across certain theme parks for up to an hour before said park opens to the rest of the public. And while we're not sure when Helios will open its doors, we do know when Universal's other 2 brand new hotels will make their cosmic debuts. Joining Universal Helios Grand Hotel will be 2 park-adjacent value-level hotels, Stella Nova and Terra Luna. Stella Nova, which is inspired by the cosmos, will open on January 21st, 2025. It's getting close. Meanwhile, Terra Luna, which is inspired by terrestrial exploration, is set to open 1 month later on February 25th, 2025. These 2 hotels will also come with the usual exclusive hotel guest benefits, like early entry and free transportation to and from Universal's other theme parks. There's still so much left for us to learn about Epic Universe before its official launch date, but we'll make sure to keep you updated every time we hear more news about it. So stay tuned, and don't forget to pick up that free Epic Universe Ultimate Guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/epic right now. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.